Chidople?
Good morning. And yeah, that name sometimes is difficult to pronounce, but if you just remember one of Liberia's famous football players, Sam Shipley.
Oh,
So
Shipley.
I'm the junior brother to him. So just renaissance on that name, you will be able to pronounce it. Anyway, thank you for the invite and thank you for the work, the level of transformation that is being taking place here. We want to thank the management of LBA. I think you guys are doing a very good job. And I love the slogan of your boss, and LBS will not be the same again. And I think that is being implemented just by visiting your place. We are very excited to be here this morning. Thank you.
That's good. Uh, Mr. Chibley, good morning again.
Thank you very much. We are excited to be here. My name is Darrell S. Chuble, Protection Officer, the Director
Good.
at the LRC.
Okay, let me start from you, Director for Protection at the LRC. Basically, how is the LRC?
Well, thank you. LRC is kicking very well. We have a new administration, and indeed, when we talked about rebranding, we've seen that at LRC for the past few months. And we believe once we all can put together, we'll make things happen at the LRC. So the LRC is doing very well.
That's good. Good news.
Yeah.
Okay, let me come to Mr. Chippy. Yes, sir. You are the Director of Programs. And how have you been working over the time since you joined LRC, not LRC?
Yes, so thank you. Like what my colleague just said, LRC received new corp of directors, the executive director, the two deputies, and for the past few months, they kicked the ball rolling.
Mhm.
You understood the issue of the repatriation of our Liberians that got stranded in Ghana. So that interplay with the work immediately. But basically, what the program department is doing is to develop a 5-year strategic plan that will rest on 4 basic pillars. One is the payroll that has to do with our primary function, which is the protection regime of Liberia, which has to do with refugee, asylum seeker. The other payroll will be centered on migration, mixed migration issues, stranded people in the diaspora. How do we address that? The third payroll will be centered on the DEV, deprived vulnerable community, wherein we will strategize a 3-year reintegration framework that will incorporate about 4,600 returnees and also 5,600 vulnerable host community. You know, these people are coming from Ghana. They will be reintegrating into host community. So we look at the vulnerable groups in those host community and develop a reintegration problem. Although the rebranding process of LRC is taking place, and we will look at laws and policies, some of those international instruments that need to be domesticated, which has to do with the RDP laws, and we will be knocking at the doors of the legislature to amend our act to bring the LRC into a recent unfolding emerging reality, which has to do with migration issue, statelessness, and also other issues that have to do with refugees and our person of concern. So that process is ongoing, and we are working closely with our top management. They are very supportive. They are very hardworking, and we just appreciate the president for that wonderful decision, because our executive director is not new to international protection of person of concern refugees. He has been in the business for almost pretty close to 30, 40 years. So he come with a vast knowledge of experience into the job. So we just fit in, and his guardians is very fruitful, and we look forward to rebranding the commission in the soonest possible time.
Good. Yeah. Oh, wonderful. And let me hear from the communications director, uh, Ms. Witherspoon. And you chair the arm of communication at El Chopo RC.
Yes.
How is your work?
I work closely with the program director and the protection and the rest of the other departments in El Chopo RC. And like my two colleagues said, we've been focusing on rebranding as it relates to the narration we give to the public. And most of the focus has been on the repatriation of the 1,539 returnees from Ghana to Liberia due to the demolition of the former Butupuran camp. So we've been working closely with our partners and other entities that have supported us in any other way they could. So it's been a wonderful journey, and I'm glad that I'm part of this family because I've been treated really well.
That's good.
Yes.
So the 1,500 returnees from the Republic of Ghana have all of them been repatriated now?
I will allow the protection officer and the protection director and the program director to answer that question.
Okay.
So, yeah, although the focus will come to the issue of the Burkinabes. but I know
we're coming there.
on
So
the
I just
phone
want
line.
to give
So we currently, as we speak, we have successfully repatriated 1,539,
Okay.
and we did that in two batches, which is the first batch, which was around 770. and
The ones in Kari now, they are staying in Kari in SKT?
No, they are not in Kari. What's happening is that the second batch was 769. So what we have done is we have successfully reunited them with the family. Some of them have received that emergency package,
Okay.
and then we are awaiting national government to approve the last tranche of payment that will take care of the second batch reintegration, temporary reintegration package. So this is where we are. But as we speak, we have about 90% of them have been reunited. We have just a number of 174 who we have difficulty in tracing where they are from. They can't trace their family members.
Okay.
And they are Liberian citizens, so they are currently under our care, and we are doing everything possible to reunite them with their family.
I'm care to know. We will come to the real issue now, but I'm care to know those that are still in your possession or under your control as El Chopo RC. Some of them family members might not be alive any longer. Are you also taking into consideration that?
Yes, we are aware. Considering the period of time, the almost 2-3 decades, it's difficult to just reunite into. It is your home, but coming to your home, you can be almost like a stranger in your home if you can't trace your family roots. So we are concerned with that, and then we are working very closely to see the possibility of how we can take care of some of these issues that are coming up. Currently, they are being hosted at the Kari. We have 45 of them at Kari, and then we have few of them that we have taken to an alternative home where they can feed at home and they care. But we're working with national government to see how we can incorporate it into our reintegration framework plan to get them reintegrated back into the society. Even if it will cost us knocking at the doors of international partners to take care of at least the first 1 year rent, because we can't continue to keep them at a temporary holding place. Yeah, so it's a concern.
And their kids need to go to school, or all of that. They are medical and a lot of burden.
Yes.
But we hope that you will be strengthened monetarily so that you can keep doing what you do.
Yeah, we thank the government. The government of Liberia have been very supportive. The government is the government. We have bureaucracy in raising allotment, but funds have been coming, and we're just waiting for the last train. And we believe that as soon as we receive that payment from the Ministry of Finance, by this week or next week, payment of the temporary packages will be given to these people, and then they can be reunited with the family again.
Okay, let's go to the issue. We understand that there was an assessment mission conducted that was in last October 2023 in the southeastern part of Liberia. How did that go, and what were your target areas?
Thank you very much. Indeed, that assessment took place during the past administration. And because since 2015, we've been having Burkinabe into our country and invading the southeast region, beginning from Nima all the way to Maryland and crossing to Sino, Grand Cru, River Cess. And UNHCR they have their country operation plans and security plans. So we got that as LCCC. They told us, if you see these people coming from so and so place, there are people who are running away from, who are fleeing conflict zones. So do not return them. But they are coming also into those places. They are meeting the host. Some, they will go into the forest to be farming, in the water. And when you talk in terms of protection, those are the places that conflicts begin. The water, the people used to draw their water. Everybody used to have water. You have you have strangers. If you are taking 5 buckets, you will not be able to take 5 buckets of water.
Of course.
So they went there to find out what they were there for. Some came, they said they came to Liberia for greenhouse pasture. And others don't know what they were there for, because for LCCC, we know that when you came from this particular region, you are not here for economic reasons. Even though you are not farming there, no food, nothing, but you fled conflict. The other part of the country, there's no conflict. So, and they got a number, they got the insight into what they were there for, and they came back to office. And since then, we try to put things together, all the information. There where we are now, arriving at this point that indeed they need to be profiled, because the number is growing on a daily basis.
Okay.
Yeah.
With us, Spoon?
Yeah, I would like to buttress my colleague. So, as of, we are in August, right? So in July or the ending of June, we also, under the new leadership of Honorable Patrick T. Woolsey, did assessment as well with the co-chair and the chair for repatriation and resettlement. We went into the same counties.
At the National Legislature?
Yes.
Okay.
We went into the same counties, Nema, as far as Pabli. We met with the leadership there and the Burkinabes that are residing there, along with the stranger parents, that's what they call the people that are hosting them. We went to Toast Town, where we also met the leadership there. We went to River G, where we met the superintendent for that county. And then we went to Maryland Harbor, where we also met with the Burkinabes at the town hall in Harbor. And seeing the reality of the living condition of people there, it drew more attention from the House and the executive director himself. And when we got back, the representative, sorry, what's the representative for Maryland County? I might be missing his name right now, but he's the co-chair for repatriation and resettlement. He did an appeal to the House, seeking and pleading with them for the need for these Burkinabes nationals to be profiled and registered. So that's where we are right now.
Okay. So as we speak, we understand this thing about the Burkinabes. It has been a long-standing thing. Even past lawmakers, especially in Grand Gide, have been talking about this. Former lawmakers have been talking about this. quote unquote, that the Burkinabes are illegally entering in their terrains without any proper documents and other things. They are not just coming, but they are coming to farm. They are planting cacao, and we call it cocoa, and it's something scary for them as typical citizens of the soil. Did you also ask the Burkinabes whether they I guess you had a town hall meeting with them and or you got their views. Did you ask them whether they have legal standings, whether they have some of the legal documents that they came with that can prove that yes, this is what they have come here to do. They came to reside forever.
So, like what you said, the history of the Burkinabes is unique to the Western belt, Western African countries. Look at Togo, Ghana, Ivory Coast, and Liberia is of no exception now. Like what the protection officer said, these people begin to arrive around 2015, and it was clear that by 2024, currently it became an issue, a social issue, political, economic issue, because they have come and they are intruded into the place. And like you said, some of them just enter, and we all know what is happening in Burkina Faso. There is pressure, there is tension,
Instability is currently
in there. So it's like we this administration have decided that we want to take this thing on hand, in that we're going to look at the issue of them, because we need to do a peer review of what is happening in our other countries. If the UNHCR is saying that we have, as of Judah, we have almost like 67,000 Burkinabes in the western belt of Africa, then Liberia is of no exception. And then it is where we are, because we need to know when they enter, why they enter. So this is what we call profiling and registration. But before that is done, the assessment visit was done, and then we have sampled the views of these person of concern, because to us they have become person of concern. We want to know, because they've been here since 2017, and the number keep
of
increasing.
40,000 plus.
Yes, because when we did the first assessment in 2022 with the UNHCR and IOM, they were around 7,000, and then that ran up to 2024, and as we speak, they are pretty close to around 40,000 in this county, Nima County, Maryland, River G, and Grand G there. So what is happening is that we are in the UNHCR, they are putting all on international gazette, encouraging countries not to reform these people, not to send them back home. Mind you, under the refugee laws, there is something they call refugee surplus. If a man comes in your country for economic activity, and in the process of conducting his economic activity, there is instability in his country, he can't go back home. That is what we call refugee surplus. So all these international protocols have been activated in other countries. Mind you, we're supposed to be hosting a dialogue tomorrow, and Ghana hosted us in February of last year. They hosted a national dialogue on the influx of Burkinabes. As we speak, currently Ghana is having 2 reception camps for these Burkinabes in the Upper East and the Upper West region. Ivory Coast is doing the same
The
thing.
same way they were hosting the Liberians.
The same manner like we have in Bouaké.
Yeah.
Ivory Coast is hosting the Burkinabes in Bouaké and Chokolo.
Yeah.
There's
Jigolo.
another town in Jikolo. They are hosting in Togo. Currently, as we speak, the refugee agency in Togo is registering Burkinabes. So the Burkinabe issue is an African issue. It's a refugee issue. It's a protection issue. Because like what the protection officer said, look at water supply. You have hand pump that will take care of 50% in a town. And because of the influx of the Burkinabes during the dry season, that 50 occupant and villagers the water cannot cater to them. We have infrastructure. The town was hosting 50%. Then because of the influx of the Burkinabes, the 200 occupants in the town. So the Burkinabes has become more than the town
owners
than the original
So they have taken over the town.
And mind you, the last assessment that was conducted by the EDN team, they had town chiefs.
Yeah.
They have Tanchi, they have
have
the
a whole
leader.
Burkina Faso, they structure their own leadership.
They have
Yeah.
their own
Wow,
leadership.
wow.
So as we speak, the first thing we're going to do is number one, let's create the national awareness. Let's take it from a dialogue point of view. That is where we are coming from. Because tomorrow there will be a national stakeholder dialogue on the influx of these people in the country. And the dialogue will inform the country, and the outcome of that dialogue is to develop a recommendation, policy recommendation to national government, and then it will follow a 2 week of intensive awareness, making those person of concern to know that we are coming to profile you. We want to know your intention. How did you cross? Because we are aware, people, there are so many protection needs that cause someone to flee. Persecution. Once there is instability in your country, you will cross over.
And you also have it's a national security threat to our country on a serious note, because amongst the people amongst the Burkinabés, you might have some dangerous people among them. So you will have some prisoners who escaped, who broke jail, and they are among those people, and they come with the kind of same mindset that took them to jail. That could be something of interest to look at.
So that is why we are saying there will be a dialogue. Thematic areas will be discussed. The implications, the economic implications, the social implication, the security implication. Mind you, the security issue will be restricted. We just, I mean, there will be security expert tomorrow that will be speaking on the implication of these people. But mind you, doing our profiling and our registration, we're going to pick up the device, because we have protection tools. We have the protection director. There will be protection tools. We'll be able to look at the credibility of your claim. And when you are fleeing from persecution, it's quite different from fleeing from persecution. For example, if you did something in your country and then you are running away from justice, we are now going to protect you.
How you will verify that if a person from Burkina Faso ran as a result of being put in jail, and they broke jail and they joined the rest of the team to come to a grand jury or Maryland? How do you take note of that?
Under the protection tools, I will allow him to speak to that. But under the protection tools, we have what we call country of origin information. They have a way they can access your information from your country of origin. So he will speak to that.
Please, Mr. Protection Director.
Thank you. There's an intricacy in that interview. We have questions that we can ask. We have a list of questions beginning from your bio data to your education and the rest of those. And in those areas, we have an area that talks about military, your service to your country.
Okay.
And those questions will tell us that indeed you are a militant, or you are in some kind of a group. And it's vast. We can't explain all that.
You want to be skeptical in your questionnaire.
Yeah, we'll be very much careful in what we ask them, because we know them too. And also we use those who and all of them that came together.
Okay, you use some of them.
Yes, because they will tell you the person that will, how you call it, military person. And maybe we have others who are also here that are not from Burkina Faso, but they've come. So if you talk about, oh yes, I was in our region, and let's see, Koulibaly, for an example, was my party member or my commander. We ask the question, we ask that tell us whether your statement is plausible or not. So there are a lot of questions we can ask. We sometimes ask you up to 50 questions. That tells you the interview can be in depth.
Well, then my concern here is because the program director spoke of the Burkinabés structuring their own leaderships in some of the areas. is quite worrisome. It could bring some power struggles between they and the actual Liberians.
Yes.
And does that scare LRRC?
I think this should not only scare the LRRC, but this is a national concern. So that is the reason why we are elevating this to a national dialogue.
Okay.
But again, we have the mechanism. LRRC have the way of intervening, and we have something we call social cohesion. You know, Liberians, they are very receptive. Liberians, we are good for our hospitality. You will ask yourself if Ghana can, because of 8,000 influx of Burkinabes, can organize a center, a camp to host the people. If you ask yourself, Ivory Coast, because of the influx of 12,000 Burkinabes, they are able to organize a holding center or a reception center for these Burkinabes. While Liberia cannot do it, because we just allow them to live in the community
And do their will.
And Liberians are just people of hospitality. We host them. The community, the local community hosts these people. But it is becoming alarming because we look at other issues, the environmental. We can't be preaching to preserve deforestation, our forests, and these people are living in the forest, and they do farming, they cut trees, charcoal production. So we look at the environmental damage that is being caused by the influx, by the presence of almost 40,000 of these people on the territory. Mind you, the ECOWAS protocol have procedures. You are allowed to enter in your country, in a West African country through ECOWAS protocol with valid document. And believe me, through our if the profiling is done, you'll find out that most of the people have entered with no valid or document. So it raised immigration concern. And we want to ask them, we want to know, why are you here? If you are here because of protection, we get protection. If you are here because
You came to farm.
you came to farm, you are a migration on the run for greener pasture, we subject you to national government and the LRS to invoke the ECOWAS free movement protocol, where you have to get your identity, and we look at those issues. So it is a core, it's a national core.
Yeah.
It is not a concern of only, it's just because LRRC is the lead.
You are in the front line.
You are in the front line, but it is a national core. We are collaborating. ROM is with us. The UNHCR, yes, they are our partner. They are with us because we run parallel with the UNHCR. We have other partners that are collaborating with us. So it's a national core. And now we are now taking the first step. And the first step is what will lead us to a national dialogue. Let us discuss this thing as a nation, and let us recommend to national government a policy issue that will become the benchmark for our movement. So
Good.
that's where we are.
Okay, Mr. Director.
Yes, in fact, he talked about ECOWAS. Before 2022, yes, they were in the ECOWAS region, but I think you are aware that Burkina Faso, Mali, and what? Niger.
Ghana, Togo.
No, they have decided to leave what? ECOWAS. They say they are the Sahel country.
There has been a call again to get them back. So because it poses serious security threat in the West African region.
But whether even let us not go into that.
No, we're not going there. But it's just
that one of the things they are calling them. Have they agreed to come back? Have they made any overture to the larger body? They are insisting that they want to be on their own. They can do what they want to do. So those are the things that we want to go in the field to look at. And as I said, other scheme here, if you were to do the profiling, you see that not all of them from even Burkina Faso, because of our
open heart.
Yes. And using that also, so you will get to know. And the very people they say the person they're not part of us.
How do you? Maybe I've seen some of them either in Monrovia here. I don't know. Maybe because sometimes maybe they commute. They come uptown here to buy and go back and all of things. But I don't know them in person. How do they appear? Do they appear like us?
What they are the idea? They are human beings like
I
us.
know.
Yeah, they're no different from us, but maybe the language. But sometimes you see the appearance. If a librarian went somewhere, you will see. If you are a librarian, get there, you will know. You would know. You may not be 100%,
Mhm.
but you'll be about 85% sure that this person is a librarian. Either the way they speak, either the way they look, the way they do things, you observing them in the community, but the person not from here because you know the attitude of the rest of the people that you are living with.
Do they speak standard
French.
English?
French.
They don't speak English.
A little bit of them. Some of them speak French, but sorry. Some of them speak English,
Okay.
but majority speaks French.
So, how do you engage those that don't speak the English?
They have their translator.
Okay.
Like when we went for the assessment in those counties, the inhabitants of that county, the Liberians that stay there, understands the French. Because, for example, in Pabli, it's like 15 minutes walk away from Ivory Coast. Like if you walk through the forest, you can enter Ivory Coast. So language there is not really a barrier for them. They speak the dialect of that area, and then they also speak the language French.
Okay.
So it's
similar.
Yeah, it's cut across.
Yes, yeah.
Other places we had translators. Like in Maryland, they had a spokesperson where we spoke English, he spoke French, and then they spoke French and he spoke English to us.
How genuine is that interpretation? Do you believe in the interpreter that he's telling the real thing, the real story about his colleagues?
Well,
Because you don't understand the thing that people speak.
No. Good thing is we also have French speaking person in our commission.
Okay.
So we had the regional director for that region, Mr. Joken.
Yeah.
He speaks French, and he was part of the team that did the assessment as well.
That's good. Okay, so tomorrow is a dialogue, and it's a stakeholder dialogue. Where will you be having this dialogue?
The dialogue is being held at Painesville Town Hall at 9:00 tomorrow. We are expecting to have 300 plus guests, and we have sections based on the topics and the panelists. So we will have like first 5 sections, and then there's a break for lunch, and we do the remaining sections after, then we close. So it's a whole day event from 9:00 up to 4:00, 5 in the evening.
If you may tell the public who are those some of those panelists that will be addressing the forum.
So the dialogue is structured in a way that we have experts, we have people that have vast knowledge in key thematic areas. For example, we'll be hosting a professor from the University of Cumberland, United States, who will be speaking on the social and protection impact of the implication of the Burkinabés. We'll have the Senator of Lofa County, Senator Momo Saros, who will be looking at the presence of the Burkinabés and the security implication, but it's going to be not too deep. The security people will not discuss everything to the point, but we will create the presence of the Senator of Lofa County will be one of our guests. We have the political advisor to the President of the Republic of Liberia, Madam Madera Kopo, will be also gracing the occasion. The press secretary to the president will be speaking on the cultural implication of the presence of the Burkinabe. We have also that will be gracing the occasion will be the Minister of Health, Dr. Louis
Boto.
Boto will be discussing the health implications, and we have a civil service and civil or society organization, Sintel, have been invited. We have the FLA is invited because it's a national program, and we have Madam Martina Wisse, the former secretary to the Mano River Union. She will be also invited. We have the Deputy Minister for Foreign Affairs for Administration, Honorable Jide Ama. You will be speaking on the political and foreign implication. And then we on the economic front again. We have then there we look at the economic implication, the gains and challenge, and we have people with economic background who will be also discussing. So it will be a panelist discussion. For example, the first section will be moderated. We have 4 panelists that will be speaking, and then the public, the audience will be given the opportunity to ask questions, and then with the secretariat will take the minutes, the proceeding, and then at the end of the workshop or the end of the dialogue, we'll come up with concrete policy recommendation to national government. Mind you, we're not going to stop there. Immediately after the dialogue, based on the outcome, after a week, a team from Eltro Privacy and other LRS is collaborating with us.
Yeah, that's
The
immigration service.
they are very key. They have their own, they will be going to assess and see their own role to play. Mind you, the UNHCR will also be. So immediately after that dialogue, in a week time, a crack team will be going on the field to create awareness
in the same region.
Because these people, they are very clever. By the time they see people coming, they will think the security sector is coming to arrest them. Sometimes they cross over to the border. Then after some time,
they come back. That's how you have gone already.
So we want to create very good awareness. Encourage them. Look, we are Africans. I mean, the ECOWAS protocol guard these people too. Man, in as much as we want to know who they are, because for us they are person of concern. We want to know who they are. So we encourage them to come, tell us your story, and let us document you. If you have a sudden needs, we give you a sudden need. Mind you, the UNHCR has scaled down.
Does Liberia have the power for? Do we have the authority for asylum leave?
Yes, in Liberia we have the Asylum Committee of the Republic of Liberia that is structured by members and representation for line ministry. Ministry of Internal Affairs is represented on that Asylum Committee. Ministry of Justice, lawyers are represented on that committee, and we take our refugee cases and adjudicate them. We have seasoned lawyers that look at the principles on which you are asking for asylum. Okay. We have that regime. That regime has been in existence.
Has it been effective?
Very much effective. The protection director can speak to that. It is a steering.
Everybody got it.
Sir. Thank you. We have seasoned lawyers. All of them counselors from Internal Affairs, Foreign Affairs, the Justice Ministry. We have Finance and Development Planning. What we do, you come, you say you're seeking asylum. We have what we ask for. We register you. We subject you to an interview.
Does it require any money to register them?
No.
It's free of charge?
Yes, free of charge. Just like indigent people, we don't ask for money.
Free.
We subject you to interview. After the interview, because you told us a lot of stories, then we use the country of origin information. We call the COI. It will tell you if you see you came from here, and in fact, 2020, this thing happened in our region. The COI will tell us, yes, this thing happened in a country, but it was not in our region. And you understand me? But that also doesn't mean that it will have greater bearing, on your. And sometimes when people are fleeing, they don't think better. You understand me?
Yeah, traumatized.
Yeah. So those are the things that we look at. Then at the end, we give it to we invite the lawyers, the asylum committee. We have two committees. The first instance committee, which is asylum committee, and the second instance committee, which is the appeal committee. If we deny you, if they say your case now,
it's not clear. No.
you have the
It's
right.
not- yeah.
You have the right as a
Your
refugee
claims.
Yeah.
to take an appeal. They will look. They either
It's a quasi.
upheld the decision of the first instance or revert. So how it works.
That's good. So tomorrow's activity will just be about the discussions from panelists to people that will be in attendance, and questions will be thrown back and forth. And you said there will be formal. There will be a formal. I call, how do I term it? There will be a well guided or well researched result that will be put out to the public or to the government for onward application.
So at the end of that workshop, what we expect to achieve is, number one, the country will know, the awareness. They will know that we have Burkinabes, that the process have started, which has to do with a dialogue, like what was done in Ghana last year, February. They had a national dialogue on the present. So at the end of that workshop, we will create a policy brief to national government. And that policy brief will be like in the form of a recommendation and advice. And that will be used as the benchmark for moving forward now.
So what will you be expecting as LRRC after you formulated the document and presented to government? What would be your expectation? What do you foresee government stepping into?
Yeah, so the first thing is that we're going to knock at the doors of the UN again. If the UNHCR, we are being operated on an MCO, multi-country sector now. The UNHCR has scaled down and they are operating from Ivory Coast. Again, we have protocols. If we register and profile minimum of 5,000 Burkinabes that are seeking asylum, it is an emergency under the international protocol. So what we're going to do, create the awareness, go in and have a 1 month intensive profiling into the 6 locations where the Burkinabes are. And then we take their information, we profile them, and then we get to know those that are seeking asylum. And then we activate that with the UN and the international body so that we can decide that these people, they are person of concern that are seeking asylum, and then there's a need for UNHCR to come in. If they are, sometimes the international protocol is such that diplomacy is the order, because just do a peer review. We have about 8,000 Burkinabes in Ghana, and they have holding centers for them. We have Togo that is currently registering the presence of Burkinabes. We have Ivory Coast, we have Mali. So, Liberia is of no exception. And there's a need to face this national issue. And facing it starts with a dialogue, 1 week of intensive awareness, 1 month of intensive voluntary registration with partners, the LRS, and then the result will be given to the national government. And we take again, the government of Liberia control the refugee regime of every country. We take the lead, and the international partner will follow. Our international partner, UNHCR, is supporting us on this, and they will be with us through all the process. It will be a transparent or voluntary registration process.
Madam Communication Director, you have something to add up before we take a few calls?
Yes, I'm encouraging all Liberians to come out tomorrow at the Painsville Town Hall and participate in concerns of the nation. So it's an open door event, and everybody is welcome. And the thematic topics that will be discussed are all of interest: economics, environment, social, security,
environment,
like
all this,
children, women, human rights, advocacy, everything is on the table for discussion. So based on your interest in your area of discipline, you might want to listen to what the panelists will have to say, and you can also give your feedback to them and, create a conversation.
Good. Of course, this morning you're listening to voices of officials from LRRC in presence of Mr. Dara Cholople. He's the Director for Protection at the LRRC. Also here is the Director for the National Program Director, Mr. Elijah Chibi, of course. And the lone lady is the Director for Communications, Ms. Simon Waterspoon. They are my guests this morning. I guess you are out there listening. You can put in your concerns now on 077, that's 0772-876481, 0772-876481, 0886-324740, 0886-324740. You can call and ask them questions. Tomorrow there will be a dialogue at the Painesville City Hall, and that will all be around the Burkina Basin, four of our counties in Liberia. So tomorrow they will be having a dialogue there, and you are invited. You just heard, not me. I'm not taking the communication director job from Hoya. So don't remain content. Let me speak with this person. Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, BC?
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Okay, good morning. This is Active Destiny Ike Seaton, a former refugee. I've been a refugee from Cote d'Ivoire a couple of years ago.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, it's good for Active, for the onset of the returning. There was some statement that was made. I will not cover, however, we're past that level. I think the profile of those refugees, Burkina Faso, whatever, national, there are some security implications. It's very important. Some of them have flee because they committed some crime in their country. So it's important as you part there, you also got some follow-up for your counterpart in their various country, because every country will have a party to take out a refugee. So it's important that you do that. You get the information from us. You can know that you don't have criminals who are pretending to be refugee.
Thank you.
The problem at the thing, they say, what time? So I can make my way there to see.
9 o'clock, 9 a.m.
All
right, sir. Thank you so much. 0886-324740, 0772-876481. You can call on these numbers and be part of the conversation this morning. Good morning. No. Morning.
Good morning. How are you? Hold on.
Please.
This is Emmanuel, and I joined from GSA Road.
We have plenty of Emmanuel in Liberia.
Emmanuel, I joined from GSA Road.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been following the conversation since this morning. I was just waiting for the number to be announced. I would like to run my volunteer service. I speak, read, and write French fluently, and I have good computer skills. I'm studying cybersecurity, so I can help in the process to work for my national government.
So can you announce your number?
0778-3958-10. And my email address is...
Wait, just wait.
Only the number.
Only the number. Don't worry for email.
0776
0778 3958-10.
Okay.
Okay, Emmanuel.
Emmanuel who?
Emmanuel Johnson. D. Emmanuel W. Johnson. D. Emmanuel W. Johnson is my full name.
Okay, Emmanuel. They will get to you, okay?
I hope so. Sometimes they will say we'll get to you, but they don't do it.
Be hopeful. They are eager.
Could you please come at the event tomorrow so we can further discuss?
You can come at the event tomorrow so they can see you face to face.
Yeah, let them just call me so that I can get a rightful direction, please.
Painesville City Hall. Painesville City Hall or Town Hall.
Tomorrow, what hour?
9.
So who is the person should I come to directly?
Just come. The communication director is the one in here along with 2 directors.
No problem. I'll be there tomorrow morning.
Okay, Emmanuel.
Thank you, Emmanuel. 086-324740, 0772-876481. They said, do what your country needs from you, not what your country does for you. So you see what Emmanuel has done.
Yes.
Emmanuel is trying to he's trying to make Liberia better, and it's good to volunteer. Volunteerism pays a lot. 0772876481, 0886-324-740. We can take two more persons, then I go to my guest, and then we just wrap up because they will be having a very hectic time tomorrow. They need to take some time out and rest.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning. Please go ahead quickly.
Thank you very much. My name is Ernst Miller Kevler. The issue about the Burkina Faso, my brother. Thank you very much for that kind of program you will have. But let me be frank and tell you, we know about the Burkina Faso. I live in Africa. I was there when the Burkina Faso and the Ivorian, the Kurumen, they have that there war tribal war because of their own property. And you know, we started talking about the issue from Mama every time that our border land, they are Burkina Faso force in this country without the consent of the Liberal government, and the people are too much in the country. So thank you very much. Thank you for thinking about how we feel that what you're talking about. But it is very important. Let me tell you, I entered Burkina Faso in 1998, and I saw the tension of entering the people country. And I know the situation before you enter the people country. And what I did in Africa, I was one of the men that were on the team that went to work, Kurume down the call, Grand Berebi. We went there, did the refugee that to go outside when they opened up their travel war because of their own property. They went in the country without no consent. They started planning, doing, they are the strong people in Africa when it comes to agriculture. That one we know everything. They're strong. But they will do everything in Abuiwataka now to talk to them, move there, they will open war. The first travel war that happened in Cote d'Ivoire were there. So thank you. I will be part of that meeting tomorrow at the PJ City Hall by the grace of God. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Emmanuel, could you read?
Could you read a number?
No, the number to call in.
0776
Yeah.
0776
86
86
04
04
18.
18. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
We take the last person, then we go to our guest to wrap up.
Good morning.
Morning. Please go ahead. You are the last caller.
Yeah, I'm Mr. Clarence Chico from Cotwell.
Go ahead.
I lived in the Ivory Coast for some years, and the issue of the Burkina Faso is nothing to overlook. So I pray that government will do their best, because they come in the form as if they come to seek refuge. But before you make up your mind, they will overtake you, and then they are strong. Like in Nigeria, the people in Nigeria who got good land there, but the Nigerians are not strong when it comes to agriculture. So we have to be very careful with these guys. If they get to own that forest, the Nigerians may not find way there. So let's be very careful. Thank you.
Okay, so let me just get the party comments. With a spoon, starting from you quickly, just on 45 seconds.
Melvin, I want to say thank you for hosting my team and I today. And we hope that we were able to reach to a lot of listening ears. And we invite the public tomorrow at the event, which is an open invitation, to come and be a part of concerns that for everyone, Liberians in and out of Monserrado County.
Good.
So again, to add to my colleagues, we want to thank you very much for the opportunity you have given us to speak on this national issue. And from the sample of the calls that was conducted, you can see that the sentiment is building up. It has created a serious national concern. Again, Electro have the corps of professional colleagues that are capable of handling this situation. We have the LRS who is collaborating with us. We start with the dialogue, we continue we proceed to the awareness, and we do the profiling. All international standard protocols will be observed, and we'll have the support of the LIS. And we want to thank you again. And this is starting what other countries have done. We are starting it now.
Thank you. Sir?
Thank you very much. The issue of the Burkina Faso is of national concern, but our profiling has nothing to do with refolding them back to their country of origin, because it's against international law. Article 33 talks about non-reformer. So it's not intended to send them back to their country.
Okay.
But for government to have a record on them, to know who all are in this country, legally and illegally. Thank you.
Thank you
for
so
this
much.
opportunity.
Thank you. I want to say thanks ever so much to all of you.
Thank you, Melvin.
Okay. Well, they've been my guests from LRRC, Dario Chuluple, the Director for Protection at LRRC, the National Program Director, Elias Chibi, and that of the Communications Director, Simon Witherspoon. They've been my guests on this platform this morning. Thanks ever so much for your listening role. Thanks to my colleague, Emmanuel George, who has been on social media carrying us live across the world. On behalf of the team, my name is Melvin Stewart. Hassan Kiawu comes in tomorrow with his team. Have a great day.